He was too small to survive alone, shivering, hungry, and waiting for someone to care. He was found trembling beside a trash can, with rain falling softly around him. A tiny life, almost lost, just needed a little bit of love. Sarah was walking home, the city lights reflecting on the wet pavement, when she heard a faint, desperate cry coming from a dark corner of the street. It was a sound so small it was almost swallowed by the rain. She followed the sound, her heart pounding with a mix of curiosity and concern. Under an old, soggy cardboard box she found him, a tiny ball of fur soaking wet, cold to the bone, and barely alive. He was so fragile, so helpless, found in the rain all by himself. Without a second thought, Sarah gently lifted the kitten. He was lighter than a feather. She unwrapped her own scarf and carefully swaddled him in its warmth, holding him close to her chest. As she held him, the little one's desperate cries slowly subsided. For the first time that day, maybe for the first time in his short life, he felt a flicker of safety. He stopped crying and nestled into the warmth, a tiny sign that hope was not completely lost. That small moment of warmth was everything. Once she got home, Sarah's first priority was getting him dry and warm. She used a soft towel to gently pat the rain from his fur, careful not to scare him. She set up a small heater nearby to chase away the chill that had settled deep in his bones. He was still too weak to stand, but his big, round eyes followed her every move, filled with a silent plea. She carefully warmed some milk and fed it to him, one tiny drop at a time from the tip of a spoon. A tiny life was about to begin again. The next morning, she rushed him to the vet. The diagnosis was grim. The doctor said he was severely malnourished, sick with an infection, and dangerously dehydrated. He needed immediate care, antibiotics, fluids, and plenty of rest. The vet looked at Sarah with serious eyes and said, "He's incredibly lucky you found him. A few more hours out there in the cold and rain, and it could have been too late." It was a sobering thought, but it also felt like a confirmation. This tiny creature was given a second chance, a fighting chance, all because someone chose to stop and listen. The days that followed were a testament to patience and dedication. Every 3 hours, around the clock, Sarah was there, feeding him milk with a tiny dropper. He was still too weak to eat on his own. Every day she would gently clean his eyes, which were crusted from his sickness, and she would talk to him in a soft, soothing voice, telling him he was strong, that he was safe, and that he was loved. Then one afternoon, a small miracle happened. As she was stroking his back, a faint rumble started in his chest. He started to purr. It was a tiny, fragile sound, barely audible, but it was the most beautiful sound in the world. It was his way of saying, "Thank you. I'm still here." Healing wasn't just about medicine. It was about love. After 2 long weeks of intensive care, something truly magical happened. He wobbled, he hesitated, and then he stood up on his own 4 paws. He took a few clumsy steps, his legs still shaky, and then tumbled over. But he got right back up. A little later that day, he playfully batted at Sarah's fingers with a newfound spark in his eyes. He even chased a small ball of yarn across the floor. That was the moment Sarah knew with absolute certainty that he was going to be okay. Those were his first steps back into life. From that day on, his transformation was astonishing. The frail, silent kitten was gone. In his place was a whirlwind of playful energy. Now he runs around the house like he owns the place, full of life and mischief. He chases sunbeams, pounces on imaginary foes, and explores every nook and cranny, and the same little kitten who once shivered alone in the rain now sleeps soundly in a warm, soft bed, completely adored. He went from being abandoned and forgotten to being the cherished center of a loving home. He doesn't remember the cold, the hunger, or the rain anymore. All he knows, all he remembers, is love. He follows Sarah everywhere, her little shadow. He curls up on her lap while she reads, and at night, he sleeps tucked beside her, purring contently. Sarah named him Lucky, not because he was lucky to be found, but because she says finding him was the luckiest moment of her life. He showed her what true love is, a connection that has no need for words, a bond forged in kindness. He was abandoned once, left behind with no hope. But now he's loved forever. His story is a powerful reminder that every small act of kindness matters. It can change a life. It can save a life. Please share this story to help spread that message of kindness and compassion. Because you never know when you might be someone's lucky star. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that warm the heart.